I thought today we could do a little bit of shadowing practice on a topic that has much of the world's attention currently, the topic of the World Cup. Very likely you enjoy the World Cup. Most of this planet does. Most of the people on this planet enjoy the World Cup. So I hope you do too. Let's do a short reading of an article, and you can shadow me to improve your own intonation, modulation, pitch, and pace in English. Well, the article that we will look at is entitled American Soccer Success in World Cup Remains a Dream. And this article was originally published in the Associated Press on December 4th, 2022. The article says, American soccer success in the World Cup remains a dream. The U.S. team looked better in this year's World Cup, but the results were the same as in 2010 and 2014. The Americans were eliminated in the round of 16 following a 3-1 defeat to the Netherlands on Saturday. We've shown that we can compete with top-tier teams, and we just want to change the narrative because we think, obviously, over the past years, we haven't gotten enough respect for U.S. soccer and for the way that we play. Midfielder Weston McKennie said, I think we accomplished a piece of that in this World Cup. Expectation versus performance. Expectations were high for a team with a core of young, rising stars who play in some of the top European leagues. No North and Central American and Caribbean nation has reached the semifinals since the U.S. in 1930. Draws against Wales and England were followed by a 1-0 win over Iran that assured a spot in the knockout rounds, and the U.S. achieved the minimum to avoid being branded a failure. Going home after the group stage would have been a disappointment given the expectations for the team coach, Greg Berhalter, rebuilt. Who's out? Berhalter was hired in December 2018 from Major League Soccer's Columbus Crew at the recommendation of Ernie Stewart, now the U.S. sporting director. Berhalter took over 14 months after the U.S. lost at Trinidad and Tobago, failing to qualify for the World Cup in Russia and ending a streak of 7 straight appearances in the tournament. A segment of fans repeatedly criticized him for his roster selections and tactics, and some would prefer a foreign coach with more European experience. His contract expires this month. He was paid $1.29 million in the fiscal year ending in March 2021, according to the U.S. Soccer Federation's latest financial statement. Berhalter has led the Americans to 37 wins, 11 losses, and 12 draws. After the defeat to the Dutch, Berhalter wouldn't say whether he wanted to stay on. In the next couple of weeks, I'll clear my head, I'll sit down, and I'll think about what's next, he said. Defender Tim Ream, 35, was the oldest player on a 26-man roster that was the tournament's second youngest. He stood motionless at the final whistle, and his voice cracked when talking about the experience. Just thinking about the journey, really where I've really been, where I've come from, he said. I've been in the program for 12 years and never guaranteed anything. Obviously, a lot of these guys are guaranteed another World Cup, and for me, that's not going to happen. And trying to convey to treat each and every training session as if it was their last each and every game as if it was their last. Well, that's where we're going to stop in our reading shadowing practice for today. I hope you enjoyed hearing a little bit more about the perspective of some of these members of the U.S. soccer team on this topic. All right, well, I'll see everyone again in another video.